the ANC's provincial task team is giving the outcomes of their most recent meeting. In fact, they're giving more a response to the challenges highlighted by Premier Panyaza Lesufi. It's all taking place in Saxon World at this hour. Let's listen in.
Black people, the understanding of a definition of black people who have suffered colonialism and apartheid is Africans, Indians, and colored people. Women, including white women, have been suppressed and oppressed by the system we have actually defeated in 1994. We are not going to move away from our historical mission of building a non-racial, non-sexist, united, democratic, and prosperous South Africa because people are going to court. We'll find other ways of actually, if there's a technical problem with a law or something, we correct that technical problem, we continue with the transformation program. We will not retreat because forces or right-wing forces and other forces in South Africa are actually calling on us to become doormats. We're not going to do that. And I think our convener has made it clear we'll not do it. When we were appointed, the issue of structures of the organization, we had a lot of, also that was the impacted on during the lockdown period where there were a lot of membership problems in the organization, where we had to also get a new membership system in place, which was then reopened towards the end of last year, which has got better features of actually detecting fraud in the membership system and so on. Now, as we are sitting, many of the branches in our province are administratively in good standing. We no longer have a situation with branches over less than 100 members. As I say, we're sitting at probably 80+% of branches which are administratively in good standing. We're dealing with the political and the ideological issues so that those branches understand that their main purpose is to serve the communities where they are located. Hence, in the minimum requirements, we're talking about renewal of membership, and in the renewal, target experienced activists in those wards. People who have led, at the time the ANC had a lot of support in those wards. When you renew, you don't go and recruit new people when you have not renewed experienced people in those wards. All branches have been enthusiastically embraced the 5 modules of the foundation course. Remember, ANC is not only political education, is not only foundation course. There's the O.R. Tambo School of Leadership, which does political education, also on governance matters, on financial management, basic financial management, because the courses are tailored for deployees who are councillors, who are MPs, NPLs. Those are tailored for deployees, but there's also courses tailored for organizations which work in the community, because the ANC respects the separation of the political party from the state. That's why ANC cannot announce big announcements of government. We respect that. But there are some parties who claim to do, but they always conflate state and party. You'll see logos and the colors of those parties in areas where they are in government. But ANC, we understand that government has its own rules, and therefore the issue of the work is going very, very well. As I said, majority of ANC members are actually known in their communities. The problems which communities experience of poverty, of unemployment, of experiencing racism in some of the parts of South Africa, they also experience them. So this small section which have joined the ANC for nefarious and ulterior motives, Renewal is to clean them out so that they understand that our job as the ANC is to serve communities, is not to be lords of communities. And if you don't accept that, you can't be in the ANC. And some of those people are walking away from our organization. Some of the calmness in some of the branches is because some of those people are no longer active in our structures. And we're encouraging them not to be active, because there are many other community members who want to be active in our branches, but they were barred by this this section in the organization, which is disruptive, very rude, they do not respect community members. And some of the people who support our organization, who want to be active in the organization, were not actually encouraged. So Renewal is to encourage community members who have always supported the organization to support our programs at the local level. So the simple is that we have passed that stage where we don't have many branches in good standing. We're dealing with the quality of our branches, and that will be an ongoing task. The PTT will actually evaluate preparation for conferences branch by branch. You must indicate how you have actually implemented the foundation course in the branch. You can't tell us that you ran, for example, we know, you can't tell us you ran the 5 modules of the foundation course in half a day. That's malicious compliance. You cannot do that. You cannot tell us that if you have not done any community program in your ward, how do you expect that you actually will lead that society and all motive forces in that ward, including various sectors in that community? So the regions are aware when they present readiness for any branch to be allowed to go to a biennial branch general meeting, they must satisfy these 3 minimums. As I said, there are others, but the 3, it's renewals, how you have fared with that, working with the National Membership Department at head office to deal with the glitching technical issues which the National Department is dealing with regions and those branches which have those technical glitches. How you have implemented the foundation course, which is enthusiastically being embraced by our branches. How you have implemented 1 or 2 community programs. And whether when you're going to the biennial general meeting, you have already developed a draft program of action. Because we don't want biennial general meetings which are going to elect leaders. There is no sense about what we are going to do after electing those branch leaders. So the guidelines say that as part of preparations, you must already identify critical and important issues in your ward. And those issues must be part of your program of action. So if you intend to go to a biennial general meeting just to elect a leadership, the guidelines don't allow that. You must also sit and prepare and say in health, in education, in community safety, in matters of education, in issues of early childhood development, in issues of the general look and feel of the ward, working with other wards. How are you going to deal with that? The timelines, the Lekgotla will be evaluating the work of government quarterly. Our subcommittees will be meeting monthly, and they will evaluate ongoing. It's ongoing. As things happen in government, we advise and so on through the organization, through the officials, where the premier briefs the officials about developments within government. And then we give our advice. But we don't micromanage government, because ANC does not allow micromanagement of government. It allows strategic leadership in government, where we focus on the outcomes, outputs and the outcomes. Yes, the inputs are very important, which are issues like the budget. But because we have deployed MECs and the Premier, myself as the coordinator can't be wanting to know who cleans the office of the Premier, things like that. They have powers to actually act in government. And when they want guidance, they come to the organization. So our view is that the timelines, we want to do many of the things between June and June next year. It's a 1-year program, cumulatively. The 13 priorities of Gauteng, +1. +1 is the sinkholes in Merafong and some other parts of the province. If you look at the 13 priorities, if there's impact, Gauteng will turn around. Is the issues of the socio-economic transformation, issues like unemployment is part of it, through public works programs, working with the private sector to ensure growth and employment, and traffic lights, water, energy, potholes, GBV. So if we can implement those 13 priorities plus one, we think we will turn around Gauteng, and we have indicated, the Khotla agreed, that we must drive the implementation between June, when the municipalities' budgets are coming in, and June next year. We think if we can do that intensified programs in the next 12 months, and we monitor it monthly and quarterly, we will actually turn around Gauteng. Because our view is that if Gauteng is turned around, it will help to turn South Africa around. Because Gauteng continues to contribute over 30% to the GDP. So Gauteng is a very, very important province for the country. And we have to lead it with care, with diligence, with humility, and everything which is positive. We can't be lackluster and pedestrian in leading Gauteng. Because if Gauteng doesn't function, the impact will be felt in the whole country, in the whole region, and in the whole continent. And that's why the Lekgotla said we must lead with diligence, with humility, with facts, and not rumors, and clarify things when they are actually happening. So we're confident. So we'll start with the process with the regions which would indicate which branches are ready. The auditing includes those 3 minimums and others which are in the guidelines. So I think we think that having administratively branches in good standing, now we're dealing with the issues of quality, we're dealing with issues of content, we're dealing with reinforcing the message of service in all our branches, so that you don't join the ANC thinking that you are going to serve your own personal needs. You can be an ordinary citizen and do that, but not in the African National Congress, because we're 113 years old because of that ethos in the organization, which some people have derailed. And the job of rebuilding and renewal is to reinforce those values of the African National Congress. Thanks.
Thanks. I would like, before we can take other set of questions, just for the co-chair, articulation on the G12 issue.
Yes. G13.
G13.
You did it brilliantly.
When we want to just reinforce, and that articulation again on the impact of the migration on the health system and possibly how you want to deal with it quickly, and then we'll take another round.
Thanks so much. We, as our provincial coordinator indicated, that we identified, originally there were 13, and we added +1 to include the sinkhole. High on the agenda at that time was the issue of water, because we had lots of challenges of water, and we are proud that we've reversed that. It's only few areas in our province. This we did brilliantly with the assistance of the national department, especially the Ministry of Water and Sanitation. We then worked on energy, obviously saddened by the return of phase 2 of load shedding, but we were proud that it's just confined within the peak hours. Hopefully the minister has indicated that we will turn that situation back. And thirdly was the infrastructure. You're quite aware that our infrastructure is completely under attack from organized syndicate who really believe they can attack, steal and deal things. And fourthly was the issue of crime, that we honestly, if we have to get the province right, the fight against crime should really be elevated and put together necessary systems. So we've done that. We've identified almost 250 people who are behind some of these criminal activities of kidnapping, cash in heist, murder and all other things. To date, at least, we're hovering above 120 of those that have already arrested, and others unfortunately died during exchange of fire with the police. Then we've got the matter of GBV. latest, it's attacking children in our province. You're quite aware, the last 48 hours, with an 11-year-old that vanished and was found dead. This follows the 3-year-old in West Rand as well, that we felt that we needed to attend to. And then we have the challenges of drugs, which honestly speaking, if we don't attend to it, it fuels lots and lots and lots of matters that we've got people that are not attending school, or young people that are derailed from attending school purely because of those that are selling drugs to them. Then we came to the service delivery related matters, starting with the potholes. We have a sessions with the executive mayors. Then we have the second part being traffic lights, that we really believe that we need to fix all the traffic lights. I'm happy now we are standing almost at 67% since we've announced the need to fix traffic lights. So each and every municipality has been given a target to reach a certain number of traffic lights that they need to fix. Then we've got the issue of health and education, and have now confidently added the issue of sinkholes. These are the 13 areas that we believe that, as the provincial coordinator has indicated, if we can just get them right within the next month or so. So yesterday we had the executive committee, which also went through this item and adopted them and aligned them to the national framework, so that they can be elevated and be resourced and be supported. Obviously, we are looking forward to the budget tabling on the 21st of May, budget 3.0 as people call it, because the sooner we know where we stand on some of the budget allocations, it will assist us to then fast track some of these issues. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Deputy.
Indeed, our health system has been burdened, and I think what we have done in terms of what Amanda was asking as provinces, we have the National Health Council where all MECs are there, and we're encouraging even other provinces now to start identifying areas where there can be some assistance by the national government in terms of building. For example, academic hospitals, as we can see in Limpopo already, there's an academic hospital that has been built. In Mpumalanga, they've identified a hospital that will be used so that some of the activities and the disciplines that we're doing at Steve Biko must be done at, whether is it in Middleburg, but they've already identified an area where some of those services will be done. Northwest, we're servicing Northwest. Again, even Northwest, we're encouraging them, especially in Klerksdorp, because what we have been doing, we're even taking some of our professors to go and help them in the hospitals to do some of the operations that they need to do in those hospitals, neighboring provinces, just to ease up the pressure from Gauteng. So we are aware of that, and colleagues are aware. Hence, even the minister had to take that approach now of strengthening some of the services to those specific provinces, because if we can check even the number of people, if you go to Steve Biko as we speak, we have even identified about 4 wards at Steve Biko that were servicing only citizens from Mpumalanga. You can see during visiting time a lot of people that are coming to visit their families. But it's not only Mpumalanga alone, even those other provinces. You go to OD Hospital, it's full of the people that are coming from Northwest. Dr. George Mukari Hospital is the same situation that we're experiencing. So indeed, you are right, those programs, we're trying to do them. Good thing is that most of us as MECs are coming from one organization, so it's easier for us even to have meetings amongst ourselves, share experiences. But again, as Gauteng, we're always leading in that, because we're the ones that have a serious problem. But colleagues are prepared to do that, those intergovernmental relations that we are doing.
Thank you very much. Can we take Joy just on because there was a question on youth, unity and youth. Just the articulation quickly on that. We need to be closer.
No, I think this one must be closed. That's why. Yeah. That's why it's such for me.
Okay, thank you. As indicated in the statement, the Youth League and other leagues were also invited at the Lekgotla. And important to note on the question of renewal, the foundational courses are also being run in the leagues. It's not only a process that is taking place in the ANC or the mother body. And also important to note is that the youth in the ANC in particular are continuing to shape the ANC and are an integral part of contributing to the renewal process. While contributing with respect to policy, youth are also contributing with respect to ideas. An important example we can note is the victory we discussed earlier in Ward 24 is actually a youth candidate who is joining the council in the city of Johannesburg. So youth are continuing to participate, not because we're passengers in the process, but because the development of the country is important to all of us as an important constituency in society.
Thank you very much. Let's
I just want to add.
You want to add? Come.
Joy is an example of a youth leader. She's a youth leader herself in Johannesburg.
All right, so that's Hope Papo speaking there, the ANC's Gauteng co-coordinator, as the party in Gauteng gives their feedback to how they're going to challenge, or rather respond to a myriad of challenges in the province.